Good morning class, welcome back to the online classes for Triveni Memorial School. So today we are going to start student the 9th chapter for class 5th, that is your producing food. In what various ways the food is being produced by the farmers. We have to understand about various agricultural practice. So let's begin. The food that we eat goes on a long journey before it reaches our plate. So you might have imagined student, the food that you eat, okay, from where that food is coming. What is the journey that a food that travels and reaches from the field that is grown by the farmer and reach our home, okay. So we have to understand about the various agricultural practice. What are the various steps involved in that? So there are basically 10 steps involved. The first one is your preparation of soil. The next one is your sowing of seed. The next is use of manure and fertilizer. The next is your irrigation. Irrigation means supplying water to the plant. Next is your weeding. Then comes your crop protection. After that, harvesting, then threshing, winnowing, and last is your storage of those food grains. So these 10 steps are the various steps which are involved in agricultural practice, and we have to study one by one in detail in this chapter. So let's moving forward. So first of all, first step is your preparation of the soil. So how the soil is being prepared. So for that, the first thing that is done is your plowing and then leveling. So we have to discuss about plowing. What is plowing, student? The plowing is the process of loosening and turning the soil. That is called when you what you are doing, you are making the soil loose, okay, and you are turning that soil. That is nothing, that is your plowing. The very first process is your plowing. In that, this plowing can be done by using a wooden or an iron plow. There are two types of plows. One is made up of wood, another one is made up of iron. Then the fact comes that if a farmer is having a very small piece of land, in that case they are they use animal in order to plow the in order to pull the plow. Then if the farmer is having large area of the field, then they use big tractors. So animals are used to pull the plow in a small field, okay, and in case plowing is done in the big fields with the help of a tractor. So as you can see here, the plowing which is done by animals. So here you can see two bullocks, and this is the plow which is being pulled, and you can see a farmer here. In the next diagram you can see the plowing is done with the help of a tractor. So this person is driving a tractor. So in this manner the plowing is being done. Then what is the advantage of plowing? So first of all, it loosens and aerates the soil so that the roots are able to penetrate deeper and breathe. So what will happen, as we have discussed, that root is the main important part. What is the function of the root? To absorb water and mineral from the soil. So if you plow the land, okay, it will make it loose, okay, the soil become loose and become aerated. Because of that, the root of the plant will go deep inside, and from that it can absorb the mineral and nutrient in a proper manner. Next is it brings the nutrient rich soil to the top so that the plant can use this nutrient. So what will happen by doing plowing, the nutrient rich soil will come on the surface, okay, on the top, and the plant can absorb the nutrient with the help of the root part. Next, it also helps in the growth of microorganisms and worms in the soil, which add humus to the soil and maintain its fertility. So for growing any crop in a field, the soil must be fertile, okay. So by the help of plowing, what will happen? Plowing helps the growth of certain microorganisms and worms. Like earthworms are a very good friend of the farmer. So because of these microorganisms and worms, they have grown there because of plowing. Then what will happen? It will add humus, and humus make the soil very rich in nutrient, as well as it will make the soil very much fertile. So these are the very important advantages of plowing. You must remember that. Next step in your preparation of the soil, what we do is your leveling, okay. So after plowing, the soil is leveled with the help of a leveler. So here leveling is done after plowing. You can see here, this is a leveler. It is attached to a tractor. So this is the next step here in preparation of soil. So what is the advantage of leveling? So it crushes the big crunches of the dry soil into small pieces. So as you can see, after plowing, the soil become clustered and there are big lumps, clusters are there. So big chunks of soil are there. So in order to crush them and into small pieces, a leveler is used. Next advantage is it will help in distributing the water uniformly. If the soil become uniform, okay, it become into small pieces, small particles are there, then there will be equal distribution of water in that. And last advantage of leveling is it presses the loosened topsoil and prevents soil erosion. Soil erosion is the removal of the topmost layer of the soil by either by wind is there, okay, storm is there, or by water is there. So you will learn that in detail. So in order to prevent the soil erosion, okay, then the leveler is very important because it will press that loosened topsoil. Okay, so these are the various advantages of leveling as well as plowing. So this is our first step for production of any crop, that is preparation of the soil. The next step is your sowing of seed. Okay, after the preparation of the soil, the seed are sown in the field. After that, the seed are generally sown in the seed. Then in order to sow the seed, the farmer must be aware that the seed must be of healthy and of good quality, because the good and healthy seeds are going to produce the good yield. So there are two methods in which seeds are being sown. The first one is manually, that is by using your hand, and second one is by machine, that is your seed drill. So first of all, we'll discuss about by hand. So in this method, seed are scattered in the field by the farmer. The disadvantage, you can see here, this is the way in which the farmer is just scattering the seed in the field. So this is one way of sowing the seed. But what are the various disadvantages when a farmer does like this? So first of all, the seed fall in cluster at just one place. Okay, if the farmer is throwing the seed manually, then what will happen? Most of the seed will fall in a cluster. Okay, more than 2-3 seed will fall at one single place. So this is disadvantage. The next disadvantage is that the seed do not get into the right depth and the birds pick them up. So as you know, birds feed on these seeds, okay, these grains. So what will happen if these seeds are just thrown, scattered on the field, then they will not get into the right depth. Okay, they must be sown into right depth, and if they are not sown in the proper depth, then what will happen? The birds are going to eat them, pick them up. Okay, then there will be a loss of crop production. Next method is with a seed drill, a machine. So you can see here, this is a seed drill, and this is how the sowing of the seed is done with the help of seed drill. This is attached to a tractor, and the farmer is sowing the seed in this manner. So a seed drill has a funnel shaped opening leading to a long tube. So you can see here, there will be a funnel like opening and it will lead to a long tube. Then these tubes are attached to the plow. Seeds are put into the funnel. So seed will be filled in the funnel. Then what will happen? As the plow makes the furrow means rows in the soil, the seeds are deposited at the right distance and right depth. So there will be a gap, okay, between two seeds, as well as they will be sown at the right depth. So this is advantage, which was the disadvantage when the seed are scattered by the hand. And next is, this method is better than sowing seed by the hand, as the seed are scattered over the entire field. The seed will be scattered uniformly and at the right depth. So that is why the farmers are using this method of sowing the seed. The next terminology which we have to understand is transplantation. So students, there are certain crops like your chili, rice and tomato. These plants are generally grown in a nursery, okay, or in a small area of the main field. They are first grown there, then small plantlet or seedling will grow out from there, and then these are transferred to the main field. So the seed of certain crops are not sown directly in the field. So these are first sown somewhere else, either a nursery or a small area of the land, okay, and then they are transferred to the main field. That is called as transplantation. So instead they are first sown in a nursery, as I have told you. Later the seedling are transferred to the main field. So this is known as transplantation. Example, you must remember your rice, chilies and tomato grown by the transplantation method. Moving on to the next step is your use of manure and fertilizers. So plant use the nutrients which are present in the soil for their growth. As we have discussed, it will absorb these nutrients with the help of their roots from the soil, which is required for its growth. So the soil become poor in nutrients. So plants use that, and if one crop is already grown, then the nutrient level will decrease. So what happens? the farmers will add manures and fertilizer to make the soil rich in mineral or nutrients. So for that case, the farmers are going to add these manures and fertilizers. So manure is made up of animal and plant waste decomposed by microorganisms. This is a natural fertilizer. And the next one, your fertilizer, that is your chemical fertilizer, are made by chemical component, and they are also rich in minerals. So both these fertilizers can be used. Natural, that is your manure, and your chemical fertilizer also add nutrient to the soil. Next method is your fourth point is your irrigation. Irrigation means supplying water to the main field. As you are aware, the main source of water for the crop is your rainwater, monsoon, okay, monsoon rainfall. But we farmer nowadays don't depend on that, and they can supply the water to the field whenever whenever the crop growth is crops require. So that is called as your irrigation. Then there are various methods in which irrigation is done. Your well irrigation, tube well irrigation, and your sprinkler irrigation. So these are the various irrigation methods which are being used. So water is very essential for the growth of the plant. The process of watering the plant in the field is known as irrigation. So this method of watering the plant in the field is nothing, it is irrigation. Agricultural land is usually irrigated by canals, well and tube wells. These are the sources of water. Then nowadays sprinkler irrigation and drip irrigation systems are used for irrigation. So nowadays modern method of irrigation, that is your sprinkler irrigation and drip irrigations are used because it leads to the less wastage of water. Okay. Irrigation should be proper, both excess, that means excess amount of water, and scarcity means less amount of water. Both are harmful for the crop. So water irrigation must be done in a proper manner. Now next is your fifth point in your agricultural practice is your weeding. So many unwanted plant grows along with the main crop. So there are some unwanted plants which are not grown by the farmers. So these unwanted plants grow by themselves in the main crop. So these unwanted plants are called nothing, they are the weeds. So they compete and they must be removed from the main crop because they are unwanted plants. So they, and why they must be removed? Because they will compete with the main crop for water, nutrient and sunlight. As they will also grow in the same field, then what will happen? The main crop will suffer, okay, because the weed will also compete with the main crop for absorbing water and nutrient from the soil and absorb the sunlight. So they retard the growth of the main crop. Because of that, the weeds will cause damage as they will retard the growth of our main crop. So weed must be removed. So the process of removing the weeds are nothing, that is called as weeding. So weeds can be removed by hand or using tools. What are the various tools that can which are used in order to remove the weed? The first one is your trowel, which is also called as khurpa. So you can see here, this is a trowel, and next is a harrow. A harrow is this one which is attached to a tractor. So these two are the machines which are used to remove the weed from the main field. So nowadays farmers are also using chemicals which are called as weedicides. So remember this, weedicides are the chemicals which are used to destroy the weeds. The next is your sixth step, that is your crop protection. So once your crop has been grown, okay, the plant have grown, then it requires protection from the various pests and various diseases. So in that case, protecting the plants from the pests. So in order to protect the plant from the pests, what will happen? The farmer are going to spray the pesticide and insecticide, as we have discussed weedicide. So weedicide kills the weed. Similarly, pesticide means it kills the pest. Insecticide means it kills the insect. So it will kill the pest and the insect. And then you might have seen certain farmers, they also place scarecrow in order to scare away the birds. Next is your protecting plant from the various diseases. So in that case, the seeds are soaked in fungicides, okay, and antibiotics before they are sown. And sometimes farmer also spray this solution of fungicides and antibiotics are sprayed on the standing crop. So you can see here, this is the farmer who is spraying the fungicides, okay, that will protect its crops. The next is your seventh step, that is harvesting. Once the crop has been matured, then it requires cutting of that crop. So when the crops become mature, it has to be cut close to the ground. Okay, it needs to be cut. The process of cutting the mature crop plant is called as harvesting. So this process in which mature crops are being cut, that is nothing but harvesting. Then harvesting is done by manually. How it can be done manually? By the help of a sickle. So you might have seen in the villages, farmers still uses that sickle. Okay, and it can be also done with the help of machines which are called as harvesters. So here you can see this next method is here by harvesting. So these are two methods in which harvesting can be done. Next, your 8th step is your threshing. Then what will happen after harvesting, after those crops are being cut? The process of separating the food grains from the harvested crop is nothing, it is called as threshing. So now the grains have to be separated from those harvested crop. The process is called as threshing. Then threshing can be done by spreading the harvested crop on the ground and walking over it. So threshing can be done when you lay all those food harvested crop on the ground and you walk over it, and in that case animals are used, like your bullocks and camels are being used in order to threshing. But nowadays modern technology is that thresher is being used for doing threshing. So you can see here the diagram. This is a thresher, and in large farms, okay, when the large farms are there, a machine called thresher is being used for threshing. And your 9th step is your winnowing. In what case, in what happens in winnowing? After threshing, the chaff of it is removed from the grains by the wind. So chaff is your unwanted thing that is found after threshing the crop only, so in the food grain. So in order to remove this chaff from the grains by the help of wind, that is nothing, it is called as winnowing. So in this process, the threshed grains are made to fall from a certain height. So you can see here, this is process of winnowing. This farmer is standing on a very great height, okay, above the ground, and he is standing there, and he is releasing those food grains along with the chaff. Then what will happen? The seed being heavy in weight, they will fall straight on the ground like this, and the chaff, because of the wind which is coming, this chaff will be somewhere collected here, and then they are separated because the wind blows it away. So this process is nothing, this is called as winnowing. After that, the 10th step comes the storage of the grains. So harvested grains are dried in the sun. So those harvested grains after winnowing, they have to be dried in the sun. The clean grain are put in a gunny bags and transported into the godown. So now these are packed in, the food grains are packed into gunny bags and transported to a godown. So godowns are also called as granaries or silos. So you can see here, this is the storage of the grains. These are stored here in the godowns for a long period of time. So it is a dry, cool place protected from rats, insects and birds. So we have studied in our previous chapters that the food, there is a shortage of the food if the food grain is not stored properly. So these godowns have to be protected from from the rats, insects and birds, because this destroy the food grain and ultimately lead to the shortage of the food. So storing should be done in a proper manner. This is the way our 10 steps completed the journey of the food. Next is these were your agricultural practice 10 steps. Now there are certain festivals which are related to the harvesting of the crop. Examples are your Baisakhi, which is celebrated in Punjab, Bihu specially celebrated in Assam, Onam in Kerala and Pongal in Tamil Nadu. These are all associated with the harvesting season. That means when the crops are being harvested, the farmers celebrate these type of festivals. So first one is your Baisakhi and then another one is your Pongal. Moving on to the next part, that how do we get the food grain? So how we people are getting the food grain? So the harvested grains which are stored in the silos we have discussed, these are transported in the truck to the wholesale market for sale. So now these food grains which are stored in the silos are transferred with the help of the truck to the wholesale market. From these wholesale market, the shopkeepers are going to buy those products, okay, and you are aware there are various shopkeepers, okay, there are various shops near your home. From those shopkeepers and vendors, we are going to buy those food grains. So these food grains are bought by us and are cooked and eaten. So your mother buy those food grains and cook the food for us. So this is how we get our food. So this is the journey of food, how the food travels from the field which is grown by the farmer and reaches to our plate. So this is a complete journey. So as you are aware, our population is increasing at an alarming rate. So India is the second most populated country. So you are aware from this fact that water, air and food are the basic necessity. So for that case, we need to increase our food production. Then farmers, because of that, they are using modern scientific methods, modern irrigation facilities. They are adding manures and fertilizers. They are spraying insecticide, pesticide and weedicide in order to increase the crop production. So this is how the farmers are utilizing the modern technology in order to increase the food production. Now moving on to the exercise part, student. First multiple choice question here is the process of loosening the soil, that is the first step, is called as plowing. Next is harvesting of the crop is done with the help of leveler, khurpa or sickle. So harvesting is done manually with the help of sickle. Next, fill in the blanks is plowing in the big field is done. For small field it is done by your animals and for big field it is done by the help of our tractors. Next is farmer add manures to make the soil rich in mineral or nutrient. Moving on to the section B, here also multiple choice question. First of all, the clean grains are stored in what? Refrigerator, silos or room. They are being stored in the silos. Next is the removal of the chaff from the grains with the help of the wind. It is called as winnowing. Now, very short answer type of question. You have to give two disadvantages of sowing the seed by the hand. So first disadvantage is that the seed can fall in the cluster, okay, at one place. Next is if the seed are not sown into the right depth, the birds can pick them up easily and this lead to the less crop production. Next is you have to name three types of irrigation methods. So well irrigation, tube well irrigation, sprinkler irrigation are the three different ways of irrigation, that is supplying water to the plant. Now moving on to the next is your short answer type of question. First of all, how do farmers protect their crop from the pest? So in order to protect the crop from the pest, the farmers are spraying pesticide and insecticide. Next is how winnowing is done. We have studied that in the slide. Winnowing, in that the threshed grain are made to fall from a certain height. The seeds being heavier will fall directly onto the ground, and while the light chaff is going to fall separately and is blown away by the wind. So this is how the chaff is removed from the threshed grains. Okay, that is your winnowing. Next is what is weeding. So weeding is nothing. It is the process of removing the weeds is called as weeding. The last type of question is your long answer type of question. First of all, what is plowing and what is its advantage? So plowing is the very first step in which the soil is being prepared. So here the process of loosening and turning the soil is called as plowing. What are the advantages? It is going to loosen and aerate the soil. This is going to help the root to breathe, go deep inside and absorb water and nutrient. Then another advantage is it will help the growth of microorganism and worm in the soil to make the soil very much fertile. Next is it brings the nutrient rich soil to the top level. Okay, so these are the various advantages. And the last question, what do you mean by transplantation of the seeds? So here the seeds of certain crops are not directly sown into the main field. Instead they are being sown in the nursery. First, okay, they are sown at somewhere else in the nursery or small area of a field, and later on these small seedlings which have grown out from those seeds are going to be transferred to the main field, and this process is nothing, it is called as transplantation. Okay. So by this student you might, I hope you have understood the chapter that how the food travels from the field grown by the farmer and reaches to us. So revise this video once again. Hope to see you in my next video. Till then, take care. Thank you.